obsolete, Mr. Wordsworth.
Lie. No man is obsolete.
You have no function, Mr. Wordsworth. You're an anachronism, like a ghost from another time.
I am nothing more than a reminder to you that you cannot destroy truth by burning pages.
You're a bug, Mr. Wordsworth, a crawling insect, an ugly, misformed little creature who has no purpose here, no meaning.
I am a human being.
Words, Mr. Wordsworth, that have no substance and no dimension, like air, like the wind.
I don't care. I tell you, I don't care. I'm a human being. I exist. And if I speak one thought aloud, that thought lives, even after I'm shoveled into my grave.
Delusions, Mr. Wordsworth. Delusions that you inject into your veins to make you think you have a strength when you have no strength at all. You have nothing but spindly limbs and a dream, and the state has no use for your kind.
Resistance to tyrants is obedience to God. It's Alex Jones.
Top of the morning to you. I got the Bob's Big Boy hairstyle. We've been broadcasting since 11 a.m. Central yesterday. What is that, 20 plus hours? Airing some of those exclusive interviews. Well, I made the big mistake of going to sleep on the couch over there for about an hour. But we are here live, ladies and gentlemen. We're getting you the latest tallies at InfowarsMoneybomb.com. We had 4 top search terms yesterday, thanks to you at Google. And we got Max Keiser uninterrupted, no commercials for the next hour. We got 2 hours via video Skype connection. And no, I'm not trying to make my voice sound deep. This is what it sounds like when I've been talking for 20 hours. So we are here, ladies and gentlemen, and we've got Max Keiser on with us. And then coming up in about 2 hours, we have Gerald Celente, or coming up in an hour, we have Gerald Celente for 2 hours live via video Skype connection from New York City, or from upstate New York. I guess the whole state must be New York City, the metropolis. And, of course, his video Skype connection has been working absolutely perfect in all of our tests. That means it will disconnect continually once he gets on air with us. Coming up, you know, I keep saying this, but I'm gonna say it again because I like to repeat things over and over again, kind of like I'm a parrot or something, but it's important to say it. Jaron made me get up out of the couch about 10 minutes ago, so I'm sleepwalking here on air. Big mistake to go to sleep for an hour and a half on the couch. But so this is a radio debut here. I think of those old senators, 70-something years old. They'd go for... Did you guys Google record filibuster? Because I want those numbers. I mean, I'm a complete wimp, 36 years old, and I went out there and TKO'd and, you know, I guess it wasn't a technical knockout. It was a complete knockout and went to sleep for about an hour and a half. But we are here live. I want to thank everybody for making the Infowars Moneybomb.com such a big success this year. We'll see if by the end of the live main broadcast coming up in about, what is that, 5 hours? If we have raised the $500,000 we need to continue the operation and expand and finish the TV studio. But there are great Infowar crew people who are manning the phones. Most of the office went home about 2 in the morning, but they're all back in there right now on the telephones to take your donations or your orders. It's all the same thing, support. It's 888-253-3139, 888-253-3139, 888-253-3139, or InfowarsMoneybomb.com. But as I was saying, I was going to repeat myself. It's one thing to know all this intellectually, what's coming down the road. It's another thing for it to be here. I guess it's like a nation. We were told 6 months ago we had brain and lung cancer, and it's 6 months later, and we're gasping for air here on the bed and at the hospital, and our grandkids are all around the nation, and we're like, wow, I'm about to go into the wild blue yonder here. You know, it's How long did Senator Strom Thurmond go? He went 24 hours, 18 minutes. They're not allowed to go to the bathroom. They're not allowed to stop talking. And they're bringing me news in here. Infowars Moneybomb, Alex Jones hosts 24-hour marathon. Glenn Beck's alter ego. That's the Post-Chronicle. And then they've got... and is that Jack Black? Are they finally putting that movie out, making fun of me? Because there's like Jack Black. Well, anyways, doesn't matter. Okay, Lord Keiser is ready. They're all in there laughing at me. What's going on here, guys? But it's another thing to actually see the Federal Reserve, this criminal group of larcenous worms, come right out and say, yeah, we're going to accelerate the devaluation. We're going to print dollars. And they don't even just give them to the public, even though it devalues them and hurts things. It'd be better if they would just give them to the public. They're just like, and we're going to keep all those and buy more things up with it and then raise your taxes and put taxes on your pension funds and global taxes and taxes on your health care. How does that sound? I mean, this is so brazen, so naked. So to talk about gold, an all-time record yesterday and today, what's happening with the markets, everything, we are joined by Max Keiser, a TV presenter, radio host, broadcaster, journalist. He's the inventor of the virtual specialist technology, prediction markets, Hollywood Stock Exchange, and PowerMyFilm.com. And also Max is presenter, I got to tease him because he's always teasing me, of the Oracle with Max Keiser, BBC TV show, RT, Press TV. Max also presented films for Al Jazeera and the Huffington Post. Max is a host of also a Genesis radio program, so he's just an absolute maniac. Max Keiser, good to have you here with me. And please, I've got my brain tied behind my back today, so be nice to me. Max, it's good to have you here with us. What hour are we into now here on the marathon? 19 hours, so 19th hour. Good to have you with us, Max.
This reminds me of that scene from Pulp Fiction when one of the characters has a heroin overdose and needed a massive shot of adrenaline to the heart. Come on, Alex, wake up, get some energy, buddy.
I've got energy. I've got it. I'm charging up right now. No, seriously, I'm here, Keiser.
You know, the problem, here's a trick that Victor Hugo used to use when he was on writing marathons. He didn't bother turning the coffee grinds into coffee. He just ate the coffee grinds directly. That's what you need to do. Just put a whole mouth of coffee grinds right in there and just suck it down, buddy. Get some of this energy going. This is a major initiative, this money bomb. You got to raise money to fight the New World Order, and you're flagging, buddy. You're flagging. You need to get that energy higher.
Well, I'm starting to get energy right now hearing you. You are seething with energy.
Ramp it up, buddy. Ramp it up.
Max, your cell phone broke this morning. The had very low audio, and I guess you don't have a landline. Where did you discover a landline? Did you run down to that cookie shop? And
I'm down here at the fabulous worldwide headquarters of the MaxKeiser.com Enterprises, where we record the Keiser Report and the On the Edge programs for the enjoyment of our millions of fans out there around the world. So I'm in the studio, I'm in the bunker. We got a good landline, and let's talk about gold for a second. Gold, as you have pointed out, is once again busting out to new highs, Alex, and for the reasons that we talked about. And there's a new wrinkle in the story, and it has to do with China now becoming actively involved in a shooting war. And what are they shooting? They're shooting in the currency war. They're shooting currency. And here's the irony. Here's the tragedy. Here's the sociopathology of it. For the past 10, 15, 20 years, America has gone to Walmart and given Walmart all their hard-earned money for stuff made in China. That money then goes to China. And what is China using now to fight America in the currency war? The same ammunition dollars that America gave them. This is not a land war. This is not tanks and bombs. This is a currency war. With currency is ammunition. And what did China get? $2 trillion in Walmart for Chinese worthless plastic junk in exchange for live ammunition.
Yeah, but it's fun to sell your birthright for a toaster that breaks before you open the box.
So now China and the U.S. are involved in a hot shooting war, World War III currency war, and the U.S. is very disadvantaged in this currency war, and they're going to be completely mired in the unfolding catastrophe that is Act 3 and possibly the most devastating phase of the financial crisis, the foreclosure gate, the implosion ultimately of the big money center banks in the U.S.
That was the next thing.
A trifecta of fraud. A trifecta of fraud. Do you want me to walk through that for you?
Yes, because now we're hearing, there was a few problems with the mortgages, and a week later they're admitting, we knew about this years ago, but a week later, we're taking thousands of people's houses we don't even own that are paid for, and we're not going to ever tell you where all the deeds went, and they're trying to pass a law where they can take all the houses without even following any of the laws or procedures. So let's get into this whole sector of information and what this is leading to, Max Keiser.
Right. So, as I say, it's a trifecta of fraud. And we're talking about 60 million mortgages that were written over the past 10 years or so that are now all being proven to be, or I should say substantial percentage, proven to be utterly false and fraudulent. And the fraud has three parts to it. First of all, remember back in 2004, Alex, the FBI was doing an investigation into these mortgage lenders for making improper mortgage loans, the no-income, no-asset loans, the ninja loans, the no-job loans. They were saying there's huge mortgage fraud in the mortgage space, and it was rumored and proven that the mafia was in the mortgage lending game, and it was a huge money spinner for the criminal rackets and syndicates in the U.S. Remember, in 2004, the FBI launched that investigation. So all of the mortgages that were written for the past 10 years or so were fraudulently written. The mortgage themselves, the bank has a responsibility to do some due diligence to prove that the person borrowing the money has some capability of paying that money back. They didn't do any of that due diligence. They just signed off on millions, tens of millions of mortgages in a completely false way. That's phase one of the fraud. Phase two of the fraud is now, as these banks are trying to foreclose on these people, they find out that all the documentation to enact a proper foreclosure, that is equally being signed off in a fraudulent manner.
Because it was filled out. It was filled out by the MERS fraudulent system, literally by Don Corleone.
Right. The MERS system is a way to take 60 million mortgage contracts and to turn it into a synthetic product. These mortgage contracts are to legal documents what a chicken McNugget is to a chicken. Okay? If you know, a chicken McNugget is the end product of taking what is, at the beginning of the process of chicken, you put it through a huge blender, and then you come up with some goop at the other end, and you add some synthetic flavoring, and you serve that as food. MERS is the processing intermediary. Tens of millions of mortgages went to MERS. They were turned into essentially a blender of fraud, and at the other end comes goop that is being, and this is the third part of the fraud, this is the third part of the fraud trifecta, is that they took the goop, the mortgage goop that came out of the other end of MERS. Out of the anus of MERS comes mortgage goop that has no relevance to any bona fide legal contract by any legal standard. And they repackage it, they re-securitize it, and they resell it to banks around the world. Now, those banks realize that they're not holding anything that would have any reasonable expectation of getting any money back whatsoever. And who's one of the biggest holders of the mortgage goop? The Chinese. So they are becoming belligerent in the shooting war of this currency war, and their objective is twofold. Number one, destroy the U.S. dollar. Now it's no longer a question of, well, America's going to lose its competitiveness, so people are just going to ease their way out of having a lot of dollars in their portfolio, and they're going to diversify into other currencies. No. Now it's the dollar is our enemy. What do we do to blow it up? That's the Chinese mentality now. The Chinese are just